Hello. So after looking over some of the video logs, I realized that my experience was very similar to Vanessa, in that I too would be categorized as a digital native. Um, my experience was very similar in that when I was in about fourth or fifth grade, we had a family desktop which I used for homework. Um, but even when I was in school, most of elementary and middle school, most assignments were handwritten. Very few were used on the computer. Um, the assignments on the computer became more frequent as I got into high school and towards the end of high school. And my experience in school directly with technology really didn't involve much more than going to the computer lab and maybe making a PowerPoint or a presentation. And even those compared to nowadays were much much less really involved than they are nowadays. It was just a basic PowerPoint with and I don't with slide transitions if we even knew how to do that. When I went to college, I had the opportunity to write a thesis paper and was able to do some research. All the papers in college were done on the computer. But in terms of really exploring technology, that I didn't really have that opportunity. I took one computer course in college where I learned how to do some coding, learned really the ins and outs of Excel. But after that class, because I wasn't really using it, a lot of that information that I had gained, I kind of lost. Um, and it wasn't until I got into the teaching career that I've begun to explore technology more and more. Um, for whatever reason, it's really kind of I see this as our future, and it's really kind of captivated me, and it's something I've been interested in. So a lot of it has been on my own. I went to a couple technology professional developments, and that's where I was first introduced to Weebly and a couple other um, technology apps and things that I can incorporate into the classroom. But even with that, I was what I learned about it was just myself going out and looking it over. Um, so although I'm a digital native, my really kind of basic understanding of technology, everything that I've learned that I've kind of gathered has come on my own. So even though, as Vanessa had pointed out, I'm a digital native, my understanding was really kind of a minimal understanding, and that aligned with some of the readings from this week. As time has gone on, I've been trying to incorporate more and more technology in the classroom because the students that I have nowadays are much more computer literate. I have students that have done some incredible work putting together the yearbook and doing things with photos and Photoshop. Kids design their own shirts and stuff online. So my students are doing a lot more with online technology than I have. We recently got Chromebooks on our campus, and we've been exploring that more and more. Um, so technology, I think, has really come a long way from where it was at, and overall, it's been pretty neat to see, and that's what's been driving me, is to try and catch up to where my students are and still, engage them in the classroom curriculum through the use of technology. As Vanessa also hinted at, the use of games, my students play a lot more games than I did growing up. I never really played that much games. It was more go outside and be outdoors. But with that being said, trying to incorporate games as maybe a way to introduce kids into the classroom curriculum is something that I've been exploring as well. So, thank you. And to stay on the theme of dogs, I figured I'd just throw Millie in here too.